If this is your first time listening to our stories, kindly follow, share, and leave a comment. We love to hear from you. Thank you. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy. The wind blew softly that evening. The sky was calm, but Richard's heart wasn't. He sat on his hostel bed, arms folded, thinking deeply. The conversation earlier that day kept replaying in his head. Something didn't feel right. After a long talk with his friends, he whispered to himself, "I hope it's not what I'm thinking." His eyes narrowed as he stared out of the window, watching the shadows dance across the volleyball court. Suddenly his phone buzzed. It was a message from their class rep, posted in the Theatre Arts Department WhatsApp group. "Guys, let's meet at the volleyball court tomorrow by 12 p.m. Sir Marcus wants to see us for a brief meeting. Don't miss it." Instantly, the group started murmuring. Different students were typing at the same time. "Meeting again? We no day rest? What's this one about again?" "This our lecturer Shah, always planning something."
The next morning.
By 11:30 a.m., students from all corners of the campus were slowly heading toward the volleyball court. Some came in twos, some walked alone. Others looked sleepy, but not everyone showed up. Back at his apartment, Raphael was curled up on his couch. He felt terrible. Sweat dripped down his forehead and his head pounded like a drum. He hadn't eaten. His body felt like it was on fire. His singlet was soaked in sweat. His phone lay beside him, silent. Raphael couldn't even lift his head, let alone attend any meeting.
At the volleyball court.
Sir Marcus stood confidently before the group. He looked fresh as usual. Clean shirt, smart trousers, and a serious face that always carried a hidden smile. "Good afternoon, everyone," he began. The students responded in chorus. "Good afternoon, sir." Sir Marcus cleared his throat. "I'll go straight to the point. I've been working on something, a project, a film, and I'd love for it to feature you, my students." Murmurs erupted again. "A movie?" Jessica said excitedly. "Yes, sir. That's interesting. Besides, that's what we're studying." Favour raised her hand. "Sir, what's the title? Is it an action movie?" Sir Marcus chuckled. No, it's a Nollywood-style film." At that, Richard sighed and muttered, "I knew it. It's not going to be worth my time." The students laughed. But then Sir Marcus said, "The working title is Campus Crush." Richard's eyes widened. "Wait, Campus Crush? That sounds interesting. Who's going to be the lover boy?" More laughter filled the air. Even the lecturer couldn't help smiling. "Relax," he said. "We'll decide roles later. For now, just be prepared. Filming starts next week." Jessica looked around. "Wait, where's Raphael?" She called out his name in a soft, curious voice. "Raphael!" Matthew shrugged. "Don't worry. After this meeting, we'll go check on him." Favour rolled her eyes. "Shh! Who even cares if he's not here? He's too full of himself, Jar, always acting like he's the only fine boy in school." She hissed and looked away. Back at Raphael's house, Raphael lay on the couch, weak and sweating. The room was quiet except for the sound of the ceiling fan and his soft coughing. Then his phone rang. It was Miss Precious, his beautiful, ever-glowing lecturer. "Hello, good afternoon, ma," he answered weakly. Her voice came through like a soft breeze. "Hello, my boy. How are you, son?" Raphael coughed before replying. "I'm fine, ma." "No, you don't sound fine," she said, worried. "Please send me your address. Something isn't right. I'm coming over." Raphael was too weak to argue. He sent the address. Miss Precious smiled to herself, cheeks turning slightly pink. She quickly ran into her room, took a hot bath, shaved, and sprayed her favourite body mist. She didn't know why she was so giddy, like a teenager going to see her crush. She even changed outfits twice before settling on a simple yellow dress. "At Raphael's house again!" "Knock! Knock!" Raphael couldn't move. The door opened slowly, and there she was. Miss Precious stepped in, saw him on the couch in only boxers and a singlet, and her heart skipped a beat. She paused, then reminded herself, "You're a lecturer, behave." She walked closer and sat gently on the couch beside him. "Your head is hot, son," she whispered as she lay his head on her lap. Her hands rubbed his forehead softly. This must be malaria. Without wasting time, she rushed out to buy medicine and food. 15 minutes later, she returned with paracetamol, malaria tablets, a pack of fresh noodles, and a big fish. "Take this," she said, gently handing him a glass of water and the pills. "Your temperature is too high." Then she entered the kitchen. In no time, the smell of boiling noodles filled the house. She returned with a warm smile and a plate in her hand. She fed him slowly, like a child. Raphael was too weak to resist. He simply watched her, wondering why she was so kind.
At the same time,
Sir Marcus dismissed the meeting. Matthew, Jessica, Richard and Favour all agreed to go visit Raphael.
back to Raphael's house.
After eating and resting a bit, Raphael looked up at her and smiled weakly. You're doing too much for me. Why? Miss Precious blushed. She looked away. Well, I know I'm your lecturer, but don't we all deserve love? She laughed nervously. Raphael was stunned. Wait, what do you mean? He asked, holding her hands gently. She smiled, biting her lip. I've been watching you for a while, Raphael. You're mature, calm, respectful. I know it may sound wrong, but I'm only 33. She leaned in, about to confess her true feelings.
Knock, knock!
They both froze. Raphael peeked out the window. Precious. Please use the back door. Miss Precious nodded. Remember, call me Ma in class only when we're alone. I'm Precious. She ran out the back. Enter Ma, Jessica, Richard. They stepped in. Jessica rushed to Raphael's side. Oh my God, you look sick. What happened? I was feeling a little sick, Raphael replied. Jessica rubbed his cheek, looking concerned. Don't worry, I'll take care of you. Favour watched from a corner, her eyes rolling with jealousy. Jessica continued. Should I make sandwich for you? Raphael smiled. Nah, I've eaten noodles already. Jessica sat beside him. Maybe I should sleep over tonight. You shouldn't be alone when you're sick. Raphael hesitated. If you want, you can stay, he said. Favour couldn't take it anymore. Why do you want to sleep over? She snapped. You're only doing this because you've always had a crush on him, Jessica replied calmly. At least I care. You're just jealous he doesn't like you. The tension was thick. Then suddenly, Raphael's phone buzzed. Credit alert, 250 from Miss Precious. Richard saw the alert. He glanced out the window and whispered, Isn't that Miss Precious's car? He didn't say it out loud, but his mind was racing. The visitors stood up to leave. All right, it's getting late, Richard said. Raphael walked them to the street. Jessica whispered to him, I'll be back this evening. I'll just pick up my toothbrush and a change of clothes. Raphael smiled, but deep inside, he was confused. Jessica and Miss Precious? He whispered to himself.
I hope I don't get dragged in the middle of this.
If this is your first time listening to our stories, kindly subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and tell us where you're listening from. That evening was quiet. The sun had disappeared behind the campus walls, and a soft breeze danced across the streets. Inside his room, Raphael sat on the edge of his bed. He had taken his medicine. His body felt a little better, but his heart was confused. He stared at his phone screen. Miss Precious had sent 250,000 earlier. Not just money, but something that touched him deeply. Then Jessica's message popped up. Hey, I'm on my way. Don't fall asleep yet. I'm bringing my overnight bag and toothbrush. Raphael smiled softly, then sighed. God, what is happening? He whispered to himself. One is my lecturer, the other is my classmate. Both of them care about me, but which one is real? Before he could overthink it, there was a knock. Knock, knock. He opened the door. There she was, Jessica, fresh and glowing. She wore a cozy hoodie and soft joggers, carrying a small pink bag. You didn't sleep, right? She asked with a smile. Raphael chuckled. No, I was waiting for you. She walked in like she belonged. She dropped her bag near the couch, looked around and said, Wow, the place is tidy. Did you clean? Raphael gave a short laugh. Maybe the fever helped me. She rolled her eyes and playfully hit his shoulder. You're feeling better already. That means I came at the right time. Later that night, they watched a romantic comedy together, sharing soft laughter and quiet moments. Jessica rested her head gently on Raphael's shoulder. His heart beat faster, but he remained still. When the movie ended, she sat up and yawned. I'll freshen up quickly, she said, picking up her bag. Where's your bathroom? Raphael pointed. Just beside the kitchen. She walked in, closing the door behind her. The sound of running water echoed through the room. Raphael sat on the couch, trying to stay calm, but his thoughts were everywhere. After about 15 minutes, the bathroom door opened. Jessica stepped out. She had just finished bathing. Wrapped in a clean white towel, her skin still fresh and damp, her hair slightly wet and falling softly over her shoulder, she looked calm and angelic. Raphael turned his head and froze. Their eyes met, locked. Jessica walked forward, slowly, holding the towel gently. The room was silent. The air, heavy. Suddenly, the towel slipped slightly from her fingers. It began to fall. Raphael quickly turned his face away. "Oh my goodness, Jessica!" he exclaimed, startled. Jessica gasped, then giggled softly. "Oops, I'm so sorry. It fell by mistake." She caught it quickly and pulled it back up, wrapping it tighter. Raphael sat back down, facing the wall, heart racing. "Jessica, what was that?" he said quietly. She smiled as she walked past him. "Just a small accident," she said with a teasing tone. "Don't worry, I'm all covered now." She disappeared into the room with a soft laugh. Raphael whispered to himself, "What kind of night is this?" A few minutes later, Jessica returned, now dressed in a simple oversized t-shirt and shorts. She joined Raphael on the bed. "I hope you don't mind if I sleep here," she said, adjusting the pillow. He shook his head. "No problem." They laid side by side, facing the ceiling. Then Jessica turned toward him. "Raphael," she said softly. "Yes? Have you ever been in a situation where someone liked you, but you weren't sure how to feel?" He looked at her. "You mean like being caught between feelings?" Jessica nodded. "I like you, Raphael, I really do." Those words hung in the air. Raphael blinked. "But why me?" he asked gently. "I'm not the most handsome. I'm not rich. I'm just ordinary." Jessica reached out and placed her hand over his chest. "Maybe that's exactly why I like you," she said. The next morning, Jessica helped tidy the bed, swept the floor, and even made tea for Raphael. "You better not fall sick again," she teased, handing him the cup. They sat on the small bench outside, letting the morning breeze touch their skin. Suddenly, a knock. Raphael got up and opened the door. It was Miss Precious. She stood there with a faint smile, but sharp eyes. Jessica turned to see her. Both women locked eyes. Jessica stood and greeted politely. "Good morning, Ma." "Good morning," Miss Precious replied, her tone calm but serious. "I came to check on Raphael. He wasn't feeling well yesterday." Jessica nodded with a polite smile. "Yes, Ma, he's better now. I spent the night to help him recover." Miss Precious glanced at Raphael, then back at Jessica. "I see." The tension in the room could be sliced with a knife. Raphael cleared his throat. "Please, let's all sit." They sat, but the silence spoke more than words. After a while, Jessica stood. "I should be going now. I have an early class." She picked up her bag and turned to Raphael. "Take care of yourself, okay?" Raphael nodded. "Thank you, Jessica." She glanced once more at Miss Precious, then stepped out and closed the door gently. Inside the house, Miss Precious folded her arms, then looked at Raphael. "She spent the night?" Raphael nodded. "Yes, she insisted." Miss Precious looked down for a moment, then back at him. "You don't have to explain." "I understand." But Raphael felt uncomfortable. "No, I do want to explain, because I don't want to lie to you. I respect you and I appreciate all you've done for me." She smiled softly. "I know, Raphael, but I need to be honest too." She leaned in slightly. "I've been around many students, but there's something about you. The way you carry yourself, the way you speak." Raphael whispered, "Precious." "I'm still a woman, Raphael, and I feel." Later that day, in school, whispers filled the air. "Did you hear? Jessica and Raphael, something is going on." I thought it was Favour who liked him. Isn't the lecturer, Miss Precious, also showing interest? The rumours spread like wildfire. Raphael could feel the weight of everyone's eyes. He walked into class silent. Jessica waved at him. Favour looked away. Sir Marcus arrived. "Good day, class. Rehearsals begin tomorrow. Today, I'll be sharing your roles." He handed out scripts. When it got to Raphael, he saw his role. Character, Cara, Darlington, the lover boy. His eyes widened. Sir Marcus winked. "Don't disappoint me." Jessica giggled from the corner. "See, lover boy," even Favour gave a tiny smile. But inside, Raphael was overwhelmed. Jessica, Miss Precious, the whispers, the pressure. And then his phone buzzed. A message popped up. 250,000 credited to your account.
Description?
From Miss Precious. Raphael stared at the screen. His hands trembled slightly. He looked over his shoulder and whispered, "This campus crush might crush me first."